Shalom, I like to say, call Allah, while I was all praise and glory in Hebrew to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Karkadash, the Master Pastor, Elsewhere, Mitzvah, Must God, the elect, uses, Islam formers, is waking up, showing the truth. Um, you got this article, and it's basically about, how so-called Mexicans, which is the tribe Issachar, um, this article is going to highlight how the mass deportation is affecting the U.S. Babylon, right? And I'm going to elaborate with the scriptures, all right? It says, how does immigration affect the U.S. economy? Immigration has been a flashpoint of the U.S. political debate for decades and is once again a major point of contentions of the 2024 election cycle. Polling is one of the top issues concerning for voters, although President candidates Kamala Harris and Donald Trump agreed to need to reform the asylum system and bolster border security. They have clashed on how to immigration policies have differently strong economic benefits. They have clashed differently strongly on the economic benefits of immigration, which research has shown plays a significant role in strengthening the U.S. Do immigrants contribute to U.S. growth, economic growth? It's funny because I thought immigrants were not just Mexicans, but other people that come in the country. It says, yes, according to an American Immigration Council analyst of the U.S. Census Bureau data, immigrants, almost 48 million of whom now live in the U.S. among overall population of roughly 335 million people, generate some 1.6 trillion economic activity in 2022, the most recent year in which such data is available. They also contribute more than 579 billion in local, state, and federal taxes. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates that its increased immigration reduced the U.S. That increased immigration could reduce the U.S. federal budget deficit by 897 billion over the next decade. The role of undocumented immigrants remains controversial. Undocumented immigrants spending power totaled more than 250 billion in 2022. Undocumented households had a combined income of 330 billion, paying nearly a 76 billion in taxes. Down. Still, immigration restrictions argue that undocumented immigrants, and particularly, are a net drain, particularly on the state and local budgets. Others, including Vice President Canada Senator J.D. Vance, says immigration is contributing to soaring house costs and accelerating the affordable crisis. However, although some researchers have found that migrant inflows lead to increased house demand, and others argue that housing shortages, zooming laws, shifting housing preferences play a larger role. Immigration spending power tops 1.5 trillion. Most economists say that immigration is good for the U.S. economy because it helps to grow the size of the labor force, boost tax revenue, and increase consumer demand. Some researchers thought, such as Harvard University, George Borjas, have raised concerns about the effect of immigration wages, particularly for the low-skilled labor pool. Others, such as economic Giovanni Peri, have found that immigration has only a minimal effect on the wages of native-born workers. How many immigrants work in the U.S.? A total of 31 million immigrants work in the U.S. in 2023, making it close to 90% of the civilian workforce. In total, the U.S. foreign-born population have a labor force participation rate nearly 67% per Bureau of the Labor Statistics versus roughly 62% for the most native-born workforce. immigration participating in the labor force at the above average rate. Which industries employ the most immigrant workers? Immigrant workers across a wide range of industry and occupation. Compared with those born in the U.S., greater shares of immigrants work in a service fields, national resources, construction, maintenance, and production, transportation, material moving. Many undocumented immigrants are also employed as gig workers who typically get work through app-based digital platforms such as Uber, or they work in an informative capacity often and unsafe conditions in industries including construction and manufacturing. Each year, the U.S. has and offers a certain number of temporary foreign work visas, allowing the U.S. employees to hire immigrants for temporary jobs. The H-2A agricultural workers and H-1B workers with specialized skills visas are two of the largest programs. Together, the U.S. government issued more than 76,000 such visas. Immigrants are also active in starting a wide range of businesses, from mom and pop shops to large-scale enterprises. As the 2022 immigrants have founded some 55% of the U.S. startup companies valued at 1 billion and more. They or their children also have founded and confounded close into 2/3 of billion. As their children have also founded or confounded close to 2/3 or $1 billion companies. So-called unicorn research has shown that despite making up only 16% of the U.S. inventor workforce between 1990 and 2016, immigrants produced roughly 23% of all patents during their product. How would Harris or Trump purpose propose immigration policies to affect the economy? Trump made all illegal immigration focus on his campaign. Promised to launch an aggressive crackdown includes carrying out the largest domestic deportation of undocumented immigrants in U.S. history. Some experts, however, say that such an operation would inflict heavy economic costs. The Peterson Institute for International Economic estimate that the deportation between 1.3 and 8.3 trillion undocumented immigrants would reduce the U.S. real gross domestic product up to 7% in 2028, as well as significantly decrease U.S. employment and increase inflation, driving down demand. Trump also pledged to further curtail legal immigration. This includes ending automatic citizenship for immigrant children born in the U.S., limiting humanitarian visas and payroll spending, the refuge resettlement program, rolling back country and destination of temporary protected status, a program that allows migrants from countries with unsafe conditions to temporarily reside and work legally in the U.S. Trump also said that he would push for a merit-based immigration system rather than the current system that prioritizes family reunification, and that he supports giving green cards to immigrants, colleagues, graduates, and moves some experts say could appear to business leaders looking for highly skilled workers. Harris, meanwhile, advocates for okay, so you get the point. That's it for that. It's like it was long, but basically, the whole point of it is that how so-called Mexicans, which are tribe Issachar, which they're not talking about no other people, man. They're not talking about no other people, because just because you an immigrant don't necessarily make immigrant is not necessarily always a Mexican. Is what I'm hitting at. All right, it's just a person not from this country. All right, and they focus on the so-called Mexicans a lot, which is tribe Issachar, because of the prophecies, man. The prophecies that it says about so-called Mexicans, which are tribe Issachar, I'm about to read, because they'll show you how big of an impact our people make when we in these kingdoms, man. All right, we make these kingdoms a superpower because we are super people. All right, we are a super people. Shows you that so-called Mexicans are God's chosen too. They're the sons and daughters of the Most High. But anyway, I'm at the scripture. Where is it? Let me start with I'm sorry with this one. It's Genesis 49:15 says, Issachar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens. Right, Issachar, which is just in Hebrew Yashakar, which means he's hired. All right. It says he saw that rest was good and the land that was pleasant. He bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant unto tribute. Right, because so-called Mexicans, man, he's a servant unto tribute because the so-called Mexicans, they can work extreme, long amounts of hours, and they do a good job. Which they work, man. They work for cheap labor too. All right, they're good at their work. They work for cheap, and that's the main reason why U.S. is suffering economically from the deportation from not having so-called Mexican immigrants in this country. Because I'm telling you right now, Issachar make up the majority of the workforce, man. Why? Because they do a lot of jobs, not just because they work hard, because they do most of the jobs that people hate to do, man. Okay? And they outwork any person far as the wage is concerned and far as work ethic. That's why his name is He Is Hired. So-called, me and my brother, all right, we work with we seen it. We basically we didn't work with them, but we saw them in action. Like we be on a job and they'd be on they'd be coming in and do another job, basically a different department in the same company, all right. And the owner basically he would he had it's called he had Mexicans work instead of playing other people for the because it's like basically a construction type business, you know, that type of labor was building shit instead of getting just like, you know, American laborers. You got Issachar because what they work for cheaper labor, all right, and they get the job done too, cheaper and more effective. Whereas you got some American workers, they would have gave you their price basically. You know, it would have been cost more for them to do it. And it's funny because when it said he saw that rest is good, because it's a scripture. It's a scripture for that. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. I believe this might be an apocrypha. It's like it. I think it's an apocrypha, but it says Ecclesiastes 5:12 says the sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much. The abundance of the rich. Oh yeah, that's a good part too. Is that the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. Okay, You got wicked ass rulers that's working the hell out of people, man. And then the abundance of the rich, not just wicked rulers, but a person that has much wealth and assets of things. They need people to keep up their way of living. Like a rich person gotta have maids, butlers, gardeners, right? Advisors. They need a lot of people to accompany them. It's like I'm saying, tongue twister for me. To help them basically with their wealth. All right, getting everyday tasks done. Because he can't do that shit by himself. You got a big ass mansion, you're trying to clean it, maintain it. Or you might need your children take care of while you're off to work. It's just a lot of help that a rich person needs. They need a lot of workers. That's why. They need a lot of workers. It says this, but here this point is, it says the sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much. Yeah, so sleep. It says sleep of a laboring person, and I can attest to that myself, man. I labor a lot, and man, ain't nothing like you getting that sleep, man. Ain't nothing like you getting that sleep, man, because you exhausted from all the fucking work you've been doing that day. But anyway, I'm making this too long. Let me see. Let me go back to that scripture. Well, that was mainly the point. It said he bowed and bare his shoulder and became a servant unto tribute, man. Like I said, now you look at the jobs that Issachar, and I saw videos on it in news and stuff like that, how people was complaining about, like especially in these restaurants, how they or on these construction sites, how they people are losing out, or they can't get service due to the fact that they don't have people that come there and buy whatever from whatever restaurant or business. They can't get their everyday stuff because Issachar's working them jobs, man. Just look at the videos, man. Okay. Or a lot of that, because I read about the agriculture. Issachar's a lot of farmers, and they pick a lot of that food, which pick a lot. They gardeners, man. They pick a lot of that food for it to be shipped on those trucks, and if they ain't got them workers out in the field, because see, Americans don't like doing that type of rough work, all right, and then getting pennies on the dollars for it, getting paid shit. Issachar be doing them jobs, man. So it's affecting supply demand, right? The supply chain. Because you ain't got enough. What happens when you don't have enough laborers on the job? The job goes out of business, right? And so-called Mexicans, all right, they keeping America in business, okay? Because they, like I said, they do a lot of tasks, all right, and it's cheaper to pay you. You saving money by having them. Okay, that's scripture. Genesis 30:18. It says, Left said, Most High have given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. She called his name Issachar, which is he's hired. Okay, and we're just clearly proving that the Mexicans hired, man. With that article I just read, man, how much percentage they make up of the labor force, and how much taxes and revenue they bring into this U.S. economy. All right, and they going out on these strikes for the ICE deportation, and you got businesses suffering, all right, and it's taking an economic blow on the economy. right? So 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 yeah, man. But the point in bringing out this article was Babylon suffers without the tribes, man. And it's gonna fall because it's not, that's why the Pharaoh wanted to keep us, man. It's a reason why Pharaoh didn't want to let us go. We was building up those cities in Egypt and all that stuff, right? And right now we build up we build up Babylon the Great and the second Egypt, and we maintain it. If you take Jake, as you can see, one tribe, which is the tribe you really don't want to take away, because his whole name is an Omanoma. He is hired. You're taking away a huge portion of the workforce. Esau, Edom. So you be you shooting yourself in the foot, man. All right, when you do shit like this, like I said, it just proves that we keep these nations a superpower. All right, and these nations, they wouldn't be shit. America, if say for instance, if all the tribes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, if we was in, was it the just look out throughout history, every nation became a superpower under us. When we was in it, man. Would it be the Romans, the Greeks, okay, the Medo-Persians, or Rome? They benefit off of us, man, and they reached that high level because our people got what's it called? They got charisma, okay, and they have a high influence. Our people influence the world, man, and just our culture, man. All right, it's just our culture and our pizzazz and all that stuff like that, our swag, if you will, man. The things that we integrate into these kingdoms, man, it causes it to be a superpower, straight up. And tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. But yeah, man. That was it, man. All right, Babylon's gonna continue to fall, and as the Lord continue to wake our people up, man, and take our people out of this place, man, it's just gonna continue to fall without the Israelites, man. Okay, that's what's gonna happen, man. This place, Babylon's going to fail. Babylon's just falling, right? It's sinking in every it's taking a fall every which way you think of. All right, but with that, I'm going to go. I'm going to Yahweh Shem Shah, Devon, Positive, it was a good missile. Let's go. Like, fuses is like phone show.